So guys, I'm gonna make a tutorial how to use action camera in GW2. As you can see, I have almost 4,000 hours into the game, and I've been using action camera since the beginning of the game. I've also reached Platinum 1 in PvP. Yeah, I haven't done PvP in a while, but you can see here I play PvP quite a bit. I've never struggled competing in higher ranked matches, even with action camera. See, as you can see, like this is action camera. So when I move my mouse, it's just flowy. Instead of doing the regular hold right click to move your camera like this, I find this to be really tedious. All I gotta do is press one button and boom. See, it's smoother, it's more flowy. I don't know, this is my preference. So I'm just gonna show you guys how to do it. For the record, I do roam a lot in World vs. World. I don't really use Zerg or play with guilds. I usually play by myself, and I don't struggle that hard. Like it's pretty easy. I struggled like as a normal person would. Action camera is definitely not a detriment to how you play the game. So if this is probably if the camera movement is what's stopping you from playing the game, this is for you. So a couple of things you have to do in order to play with action camera. You want to go to options, control. This is the button to enable action camera. This one, toggle action camera. You want this one to be on a button that's easily accessible to you. For me, it's left control because all I had to do is move my pinky down. It's pretty easy. It doesn't have to be left control for you. Just bind it to a button that's easily accessible to you. And also, you want look behind. Look behind is an important button. I'll show you guys later what it is. And you want to look for these sliders in general options under camera. For these options, basically. Rotation speed, this is preference. For me, it has to be fastest because it's my preference. Horizontal position, so if I were to move this slider, I'll show you what it does. See that? For me, I like to have a little bit to the right. Again, this is personal preference. So if you to do with action camera, you see the reticle. See if I move it to the left, the reticle goes to the left. See, it's pretty cool. For me, I like it like right here. This is how I play the game. A little bit more. Yeah, here. Vertical position. Like that. I highly recommend you leave this all the way to the left because when you're doing ground targeting spells, like this for instance, some of them you want to put them underneath your feet. And if you put it the vertical position a little bit too much, see, this is probably not a good example. It's mainly for guardians. Guardians are gonna have a really big problem. Just trust me and just leave it on to the left. For vertical position, this is kind of preference, really. For me, I like it here. Most of these are for preference, to be honest. It's just this one gives me a really bad time, so I highly recommend you leave it to the left. I'll show you guys later why. It's mainly for guardians though. Collision sensitivity, just keep it to the left because sometimes it bugs out. And then zoom sensitivity, kind of like this. See, for me, I like to have it all the way because if you do it like this, like it's kind of annoying. So I just like, see, this is a preference, another preference. And field of view all the way to the right. You want to see what's happening on your screen. That's it for the sliders. Okay, so Why use action camera? You may be asking yourself. Well, it's for smoother gameplay, but it's also has like a little niche to it. See, for example, like if I were to take off action camera, see how the character is moving. She's moving backwards very slowly, and then left and right very slowly. See, it's like a jog. But if you were to turn on action camera, watch. See, then move back, forward. See, it's much faster. To me, I disengage really quickly in sticky situations because all I do is press S, and then my character runs back, whereas most people have to either use about face or they have to like turn their camera like this in order to walk back. I just find that really annoying. But again, this is preference. You can very well play competitive with or without action camera. It literally doesn't matter. So if you want to use action camera, the way you target in a normal way is you have to use a button. For action camera, you don't really have to use a button. I'd recommend it though, but you don't have to if you don't want to. You can just right click if you like, while you're in action camera, just right click, and there it is. You have the target. See if I go this one, right click. See, this is where I would recommend a button. So if I'm trying to target that golem, it gets awkward. See, sometimes it bugs out. See, like that. You have to position it in the very specific way in order to target that golem behind them. But yeah, generally I don't have problems targeting with action camera, as long as you're pretty precise with your reticle. It should be okay. If you want to bind it to a button, you can. For me, I just don't. To go in a little more detail of why sometimes it bugs out, like whenever I'm targeting stuff, is because basically there's hitboxes. Like this is in the game. There's hitboxes that you have to be aware of certain of every enemy. Really, every enemy has a hitbox. So basically, this golem over here, this golem has a hitbox that's around here, like right there. See where it goes in? See, it fades out, and then whenever I go in here, is a hitbox. So this golem probably has a hitbox like that. That's probably its hitbox. See, so it goes all around. So just think of it like a circle. So if you were to target this golem, but this golem's hitbox is within this golem's hitbox, it gets really awkward sometimes. Sometimes it bugs out. So that's why I recommend a button, but again, you don't have to. It doesn't matter. And the hitbox is like from far away. So you see the little X. So I have a short bow. So I have a X. See here. So whenever you have an X, the target is at a range. It's pretty neat. I like this. It's really nice. If you're at a range, it basically shows you that you're at a range. But if you're within range, it shows a circle. See, it's kind of like a hit marker, like in FPS games. But yeah, so here you're at a range. It shows the X within range. So what you can do is pretty cool with the action camera is while you're shooting at nothing, like say you're playing like Ranger, you're doing rapid fire, you're shooting at nothing. If you just target, like if you go within the hitbox of the golem, you start automatically attacking it. See, no matter what I do, you'll just attack it, as long as you're always looking at it. Sometimes, so for example, like this. Okay, see how it just stops and then it goes back. So this is the downside to action camera. See, this is without action camera, where your character kind of moves theirself. Feel like that. It gets really annoying with the action camera that I have to always like face the target. See, I have to do like this. So in this case, I'll be slower than someone who's not using action camera. But I mean, it's okay. There's a lot of workarounds. The hitbox issue only really you'll start noticing it in like world versus world mainly, not really PvP. PvP is kind of more action, like actions per minute, whereas world versus world, like you have time to like say like if the Zerg is right here and then you're like off to the side, maybe you're like by yourself, you're off to the side. So if you do it like this to a Zerg, they're just gonna pull you, you're just gonna die. But if you were to do it like this to a Zerg, you have your camera is facing away from them, so all you have to do is a Zerg comes towards you is you just leave. But with the action camera, I have to like actually physically move my camera back in order to run away. It's mainly for World vs. World. If you don't care that much, it doesn't really concern you. It's more like high level gameplay. But once you get used to it, it gets easy. Something I forgot to mention about the targeting. This is something I use a lot. Like I do this quite often actually. So usually, like, remember how I told you guys that there's hitbox? So basically, most things have similar hitboxes. So like here, this is the hitbox. You don't necessarily have to be facing, like your cursor does not have to be on the target. It can just be in the hitbox, and then you'll start attacking the target. That's it. So this is how I move whenever I play World vs. World, PvP, whatnot, all that. This is how I move. That's it. It's pretty neat. But once you get out of the hitbox, like over time, you're just gonna memorize where the hitbox is. Especially rangers, thieves, thief, shortbow, renegade, yeah, etc. All those range classes. Even my Ellie, whenever you staff Ellie, when you're facing the target, you do not want to be facing the target, because in the moment notice, you want to just escape. Like, so while you're doing this, you go to leave. It's quick. Especially like for me, I walk with the Zergs a lot. Like Zergs are like to my side like this, and I just walk around. I walk around just doing like this. I mean, if the pillar wasn't in the way, I'll be much further away. Yeah. Say it like that. See, I was shooting a Zerg. I do this a lot. And this is how I find stragglers, like people in the back. So while I'm shooting a Zerg, people usually come towards me, or I find people in the back all alone. I just snipe them real quick. But yeah. You don't want to face the target. Like you don't want to do this, because this is too slow. Whereas if you do like this, it's much faster. Yeah. This is probably the most important part probably in this entire video. Whenever you're trying to do like high level PvP or high level World versus World, a lot of times you have a teleport in your class, some form of teleport. Like for instance, Thief has infiltrating arrows and a bunch of wells, and then you have shadow step too. You don't have to go on top of this cliff. All you gotta do is put your AoE over here, and then if it's not a dead spot, which I'll explain in a different video what all this is in depth if you guys want. This is the basics basically. So if I were to let go, you go up. So you can see how this could be a problem with the action camera. So if I were to go do it with the action camera, I had to like physically move my camera up, which sometimes it's really annoying, especially whenever you're getting chased. Like if you're being chased, you have to move your camera like this. Like it's extremely ineffective basically. Most of the time I get caught, so you have to do a little trick. So you gotta do it like this. Yeah. So while you're moving forward, if people wouldn't know where you're going. Or you can do with action camera, but again, sometimes, yeah, see, like that, that's basically what happens with action camera a lot to me, and that's how I get killed a lot of times. So I have to just get used to like disabling action camera and using like that, because it's a lot less room for error. Okay, so I'm on my Guardian. I show you guys ground targeting spells. This is more important towards Guardian than any other class. Maybe Ellie too. Staff Ellie maybe. Anyways, it's mainly for those AoEs that give buffs and also damage the enemy. If I want the swiftness of the staff 3, I have to look down. So you gotta look down. So you don't necessarily have to put it underneath your feet, like in the center. I'll see all this room. Like if your teammates are not like all around you, it's kind of wasted. So the beauty of the action camera, it puts the symbol like this, where if this is your team over here. So like if there's a boss, imagine here's the boss. Your team is around the boss. So if you do it like this, you'll probably catch most of your teammates over here. And then also, if you're to expand the symbols, because in PvE, expanding symbols is actually a really good trait. It covers most of your team with this. Yeah, I gotta just point down. If you don't like pointing down a lot, you can just toggle off action camera, just put it down yourself. Like it doesn't matter. One issue I have with action camera is some raid bosses, not many for fractals, but some for fractals, Sunkwall Peak especially. Whenever the camera zooms out like a lot, it gets really hard to control where you put your AoEs down. Most of the time the AoEs be like here, but then I want it on underneath my feet, but it wouldn't let me. So during those fights you had to zoom in, not that close. Like you had to, the camera zooms out like really far away, and then you had to zoom in back naturally if you want it to be like this. It's a bug. I think it's a bug. I don't know. It's really annoying though. But yeah, a lot of times in raids I just disable action camera and just play like this, top down. It's ugly, but you know, I gotta get the job done. It's only those specific raid bosses like Doom, I think Kadim, and Sunkwall, just to name some at the top of my head. So if you remember, I told you guys to bind look behind. So this is what look behind does. So it literally just looks behind. See, well, I'm pressing W. So this isn't me pressing W, this is me pressing S. I'm holding S. See, now we're walking backwards. So if I look behind, I'm walking backwards. Okay, So if I don't have action camera toggled on, this is what happens. So no action camera, see, I have a cursor. So if I look behind, walking behind, this is me holding W. This is me holding S. Yeah. With action camera, look behind is really important because while you're doing like this, see, you look behind, you can do ground target. So while you're looking behind, you do your ground target spell and you let go of it, and then you release it. Look behind. See? Your character would just drop whatever AoE it is and then continue running forward. See what? And also you can juke. You can juke, see? See? Pretty cool. This is why look behind is really important. Also with staff mirage, I'll just show you guys. Okay, so I'm on staff mirage. A trick you can do with staff mirage is first I'll show you guys phaser's treat. So usually this is 1200 range. It'll move you backwards, right? So here, move you back. But you, with look behind, you can actually move forward, and you can use it as a mobility instead. See, I move forward. It's pretty cool. So this is how I use Staff Mirage a lot. Usually you don't want to go backwards anyways, so I play really aggressive. Or like if I'm escaping a Zerg, I'd be like, I'd do like this. See how much distance I put? And this is without using blink. It's so much distance. See? This is with blink. Other than that, like this is also look behind. See? By the way, you can still do this without action camera. It's just show you guys with action camera and without action. It's literally the same. Which again, like it's action camera literally doesn't matter. So it just comes down to how you want to play the game. So to conclude the video, action camera is not a detriment to me. It's just quality of life. Honestly, I wouldn't play this game without being a function in the game, because to me this moving the camera cursor is a major turn off. It's a good thing I found action camera, and if you want to use it yourself, feel free to do so. It's extremely viable and it's extremely easy to use. It's very smooth gameplay. I don't struggle doing anything that people who use cursor do. If you're bad, you're bad. If you're good, you're good. It doesn't matter what camera style you have. It's just preference at the end of the day. I did get platinum 1 in PvP, and I do really high level roaming in World vs. World. I die a lot, but so don't you all. It's normal. But yeah, just enjoy the game however you want to play it. And if this is how you enjoy the game, then go for it. I hope this video helped, and consider subbing. I might do more videos in the future. I'll try to do one once a week, maybe more, maybe less, I don't know. More than likely it's gonna be more though, so stay tuned. Give this a like and share it to people who might be curious how to play with the action camera. And thank you for your time. Peace.